the plug behind you?
What plug? By my head? Yeah, I see that too. I'll just keep my head. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Bold School of Commerce. We're talking all about integrating Mailchimp with Shopify today. Let me just make sure we've got our streams working on all cylinders. For those of you that are tuning in on Crowdcast, welcome. Good to see you. For those of you tuning in on Facebook, also welcome. Good to see you as well. And it looks like we have streams on both channels, so this is great. So for those of you who are just tuning in who have never tuned into an episode of Bold School of Commerce before, this is a live stream webinar where we teach you our best tips and tricks and Shopify practices to make your e-commerce store the best it can be, making you more money, helping you save time, whether that's creating sales, managing your returns, emails, social media, you name it. We've been talking all year about it. This actually is lesson number 24, and we're talking all about how to integrate your Shopify store with Mailchimp. So Mailchimp is obviously an e-commerce email platform that allows you to collect email addresses, sync your data to your Shopify store, which is it's sort of the whole premise of this episode in general. So we're sort of taking a little bit of a different direction. On one hand, I wanted to show you guys how to set everything up, how to integrate your Shopify store with Mailchimp. But I did a little bit of a lesson before on that just to myself, and it took 5 minutes. So if you need help figuring out how to integrate your store with Shopify using Mailchimp, feel free to let us know in the comment sections and we can help you out. We can even help you out one-on-one. What I thought would be more valuable to you guys is to show you some tactics and strategies that you can use for Mailchimp, some advanced strategies, if you will, that have to do with using your data, creating targeted campaigns, creating audience segments, using product recommendations, creating email campaigns, and so I think that's the direction that we're going to take. So that being said, if you have any questions at all throughout this next 10, 15, 20-minute presentation, feel free to let us know. Feel free to let me know. There's nobody else here, so I will for sure be checking the comments and answering your questions. Even if you have any questions that are related to email or Shopify or Mailchimp, shoot them my way. I have access to them right now. I'm watching. I don't see any comments right now. I see myself, so that's great. At least we know it's working. So that being said, I guess we'll get right down into it. So as I mentioned before, we're going to go over a few tactics and a few strategies that you can do once you've set up your Shopify store with Mailchimp. Honestly, it's 5 to 10 clicks away. The instructions are there. It's very, very easy, and Shopify makes it really easy for you to connect your store with Mailchimp. Now, one of the reasons why this is a cool thing for those of you that aren't really familiar with Mailchimp or email platforms in general, but when you connect your store to Mailchimp, your data and your customers and their purchase history and their purchase patterns will automatically be synced with Mailchimp. So you have data to play around with. We're going to talk a little bit about audience segments. So you can create email campaigns based off of how many times a customer has made a purchase, when they first signed up with their email address, how much they've even spent. There's a really good way where you should be rewarding your high-tiered customers more because they're the ones who are returning and spending more money, and that recurring revenue. Returning and recurring customers are worth, 10x that of a new customer. So you just imagine a customer spends, at 10 times more than a regular customer. You should reward them and send them maybe different emails or sort of, different messaging than those of the people who are just sort of starting to get to know you. Sorry about that little slip up there. So the first thing that I want to talk about right now is what's really important and what's really cool about Mailchimp is it allows you to automate your emails. We've done a few School of Commerce lessons on this, automating your emails. Automation, the act of having something done automatically for you so you don't have to sit there all the time and write these emails and send them out. If you're going to build your customer base, you have maybe you have 5,000 customers, who knows? You're not going to want to email every single one of them every time they either make a purchase or make an action or something like that on your store. So that's where automation comes in. So the first thing that we're going to talk about today, are the classics. The 5 emails you should be sending. I think there's 5. Maybe we'll talk about 3. Maybe we'll talk about 7. Either way, I'm going to be giving you a lot of valuable emails, email series that you can send. Mailchimp allows you to do this very easily. Number 1, the welcome email. This is when somebody gives you their email address. So you can set this up very easily on Shopify. It's on the bottom, usually on the bottom, or maybe you can put it on the top where they type in their email address. Maybe you have some clever copy that's, inviting them. There's a little bit of an incentive. Maybe you even have a pop-up. So, share your email address with us. You're going to be in the Insiders Club. You're going to get to know everything. You're going to be the first one to find out information. You're going to be the first one to hear about deals. You're going to get exclusive deals, making them feel like they're a real insider. They've obviously came to your store, whether or not they've stumbled on your store or they actively sought you out. Who knows? Maybe you did a little bit of SEO or some Facebook or some social media advertising and they got there that way. But that being said, they're on your site and they're wanting to engage with you. So make sure to do just that. Provide some value through email. You can easily set this up so that as soon as they give you your email address, there's going to be something called a trigger. And what a trigger is the action that the customer is taking. So let's say they gave you their email address, that could be a trigger. Perhaps they have an item that's left in the cart, an abandoned cart issue, bingo, that's going to be a trigger. Maybe they've made their 3rd purchase, or maybe they've spent $300 with you, boom, that's another trigger. These are all automatically going to be sending these emails that you have to write and set up on your own with Mailchimp. Very easy to do, very user-friendly. It allows you to create really simple and really beautiful looking emails with the email templates that they do have. So all you really need is your logo and some copy and maybe some product photos or something like that. And you've got a template that's just ready to go where you simply click on add photo and you slide it in, and then you can create these photos these emails from scratch and have them ready to go. Then you set them up with automation and bingo bango, you've got a whole series ready to go. So number 1, we talked about the welcome. Number 2, there's the first purchase. As soon as somebody makes a purchase, boom, automatically send them an email saying, thanks for making that purchase. We hope you're happy. Here's a little bit more about us. Here's maybe something about a return policy. The more information you can let your customers know, the better off that you'll be and the better off they'll be ultimately. The more you can take away any roadblocks, whether that's a return policy or anything like that, the easier you can make it for your customers to shop with you, giving them the confidence knowing that if they do make a purchase and if something doesn't go right, maybe it doesn't fit, maybe it's not what they were looking for, they can easily return it. You can even use our Returns Manager app. It allows for your customers to easily manage your returns simply on a portal on your store. They simply go click on the returns policy that you do have. They check it out. They simply enter their email address and their order number, and you can control exactly the reasons for return, who pays for shipping, your terms and conditions. You can control how it looks and customize it. It's really awesome. That's just a little Returns Manager plug. It's a really, really great app, and it's really great for your returns. But anyways, getting back to email, another automation that you can send is obviously the abandoned cart email. That's it's a staple, and it's one of the ones that as soon as you open Mailchimp, you have the option to click the button that says abandoned cart, and you click it, and then step by step they walk you through exactly how to set that up. The abandoned cart email is obviously, if somebody leaves an item in their cart for an extended period of time, you can choose the trigger, whether that's 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, 3 days, whatever it is, whatever you're most comfortable with. Maybe check your data, see what's going on, see how long people are on your store, or how long you should be sending an email after that. There's so many analytics, and we'll get to the analytics a little bit later in this live stream that we're having right now. Another abandoned cart, or we've talked about abandoned cart. Another email that you can send is the idle customer or the win back. This is if a customer signs up for your email or to receive emails from you, and they haven't made a purchase within 6 months, you send them an email saying, hey, we miss you, or hey, we haven't seen you in a while. Give them some information, give them some value, give them a reason to come back and remind them why they gave you your email address in the first place. And then another non-automation email, but one that's really most important, it's the promotional email or that bulk mailer, if you will, whatever you call it. That's the email that you send that's not automated. You create it and you send that out once a month. So Christmas is coming up. You should be sending out a Christmas one. Then we've got New Year's. Then we've got Valentine's Day. Then we've got Groundhog Day. Whatever promotional event that you can think of, you should be sending an email reminding your customers of your products, what you have, maybe you're having a sale, anything like that. It's a really great idea just to keep your brand top of mind. And email is so great because your customers have given you permission to talk to them. So go ahead and have a conversation. They want to know more about you. They want to know what you've got in store. They want to take advantage of your deals. So those are, I think those were 5 email automations that you can send. Number 2, the next thing that we're going to be talking about is creating audience segments. Now, audience segments are based off of customer activity. So, how many, if a customer has made 1 purchase, 2 purchases, 3 purchases, if they spent $500, $600, $1,000, these are the ways that you can sort of segment your customers so that way you're not sending out the same information to everyone. That's that. It has to do a lot with your target audience. For those of you who aren't familiar with your target audience, those are the people that you consider to be your most valuable customers. And they've got some specific traits like their demographics, their age, where they're from, what their habits are, what their hobbies are, what their interests are. You should really find out what they are, and you can take a look at your data to figure that out. I'm sure you have a really good understanding of who your customers are, but there you can segment your customers differently. You can also create audience segments based off of activity of emails that you've actually sent. So let's say you sent an email and 50% of your customers open that. Well, you can then take that list of 50% of the customers that open that and you can segment them and then maybe send them another email. Then you take the other 50% who didn't open that and maybe you change the subject line and you change some of the copy or you change maybe the header photo and you send them another email. So audience segments allow you to have a really good understanding of the activity that's going on and the essentially the analytics of your emails. Open rates, click-throughs, if people are clicking on them, if they're not clicking on them. That's a really, really good indicator of how well your emails are performing. And it gives you a really good idea of what you need to do, where you can make tweaks, if you need to make tweaks or if you don't need to make tweaks. Either way, there's a lot you can do. So that's a little bit about audience segmentation. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I'm just going to check to see if there are any comments on the lesson that we're having right now. Keep in mind, we are on Auburn. Yeah, absolutely. There's some really great comments coming through. Keep in mind that email is a really great opportunity for you to really talk to your customers. It's almost the same as social media. People are reaching out. They want to talk to you. They want to engage with you. They want to answer. They want their questions answered. So yeah, there's a lot that you can do with email, and Mailchimp is especially. It's a great platform that's so easy to use. We're going to come up to what we're going to be talking about is running some ads. You can run some ads through Mailchimp. There's a few great things that we're going to get into right away. So there's no questions here. I just took a little bit of a look. Sorry for that little bit of a pause there. The next thing we're going to be talking about now, and this is something that I'm pretty excited about. Not pretty excited about. I've been excited about it for a long time. Most email platforms are now starting to do this, where they allow you to include recommended products in the emails that you're sending. So we talked about integrating your store with Shopify. Now your customers, the data is being shared. So and Mailchimp knows what your customers are doing, what they're buying, when they're buying, how much they're buying, and that gives you the data where then you can tell your customers and you can provide your customers with product recommendations based off of how they shop. I think that was a little bit long-winded. Let me see if I can explain it a little bit better. So let's say you sell custom t-shirts and hats and clothing and apparel. Your customer, maybe they purchased a hat and maybe they purchased a pair of pants, and now you're going to send them product recommendations. So all you need to do is you go product recommendations, you click that and you slide it over into the email template. Now when that customer opens that email, they are going to be getting product recommendations that they're actually going to be interested in. It would be one thing for you to send product recommendations. Maybe you could show your top selling product, or maybe you could show your best selling product or a new product. These product recommendations allow for you to send product recommendations that your customers will actually be interested in. And the reason they'll be interested in is because they have the data that they have from already shopping on your store. So it's pretty crazy. It's pretty awesome just how by using the data you can almost take that next level of product recommendations where you simply put the product recommendations in the template. Now when your customer opens that email, they're going to get products that they're actually going to be wanting to see. I think it's a really cool feature and it's very easy to use. Now, here's a pro tip for you, and I just stumbled off of this as I was doing that little mini presentation to myself earlier. To avoid seeing out of stock items in the product recommendations that you're going to be putting in these emails, you're going to want them to turn on inventory tracking in Shopify. It's just a simple pro tip, so that way if you are recommending products that are out of stock, since the inventory tracking will be on, there's no way that your customers will then be marketed products that aren't in stock. Although that, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but you don't want to be offering a product to your customer if you don't have that in stock, because that's just going to sort of drum up some negativity. They'll probably be upset. They might reach out to you on social media. Maybe they'll post it saying, "What the heck? Don't advertise products that you don't have in stock." At the same time, you know that they're interested in that product, and you can maybe retarget them later, which is what we're going to be getting to talking about right now. The fourth thing that I wanted to talk about today with integrating Shopify with Mailchimp is running ads. So Mailchimp makes it incredibly easy for you to run ads within the platform, whether that's on Facebook or whether that's on Instagram. It's extremely easy to do, and the benefits there are awesome because you're creating these emails in the same place. You can create ads. It's very easy to do. It's very user friendly. So it's really great and it's really beneficial for you because advertising is a really great way for you to either drive traffic or create awareness or whatever it is, whatever objective you want to accomplish with your advertising. You can do that all within Mailchimp, and that's really awesome. So let's talk a little bit more about the ads that you can run. I think that the most common way of advertising would be retargeting. People are often familiar with that one. That's where if the customer visits your website, they're cookied, and you have that information, you can then send them a message based off of knowing that they were on your site. So, there's so many things that you can do here. There's so many ways that you can create tailored content. You can even create little mini campaigns where if somebody visited your website, you can retarget them with maybe the product that they see. Maybe you could retarget them with some more information. Maybe you could even retarget them and send them to a landing page where they can then find out more information. There's so many things that you can do here. And especially with Facebook, retargeting is one thing, but you can also create lookalike audiences. And for those of you who aren't familiar with lookalike audiences, so we talked a little bit about data so far. A lookalike audience, it gives you the capability to create a new audience of customers based off of the, essentially the likes and interests of your previous customers. So it's taking all of the information that you have about your current customer base, copying that, and suggesting other customers that have the similar traits as those customers. So it's really just creating a whole new customer base that you might not be marketing to using the data. This is all data-driven stuff. You're not just going to be creating a whole new group of customers for no reason. These are a whole new group of customers that have similar traits, similar likes, and similar interests to your current customer base, but they're new and they might not have heard of you. They might not know of your products. It's just a really great way for you to grow your brand, grow your awareness, and grow your customer base. So lookalike audiences and just harnessing the power of that is something that's really great and something that you can do if that's something that you're interested in. So we talked a little bit about retargeting. We talked about the concepts of retargeting. Let's just do a little bit of a rundown. For those of you that are just tuning in right now, we're talking all about Mailchimp, integrating Mailchimp with Shopify, creating automations, advertising, retargeting. There's so many things that we've been talking about today. I've almost lost track. Good thing I'm taking notes. I'm just going to take a little read here. Great lesson, Mike. So if a customer, let's say Bob Boberson, for example, made a purchase from my store, I could include them in a welcome series through Mailchimp. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So that would be, creating either that welcome series or that first purchase series. Now, Aubrey, I'll just explain that a little bit more here. So on one hand, you have your customers, and then on the other hand, you either have prospects, or maybe there's another name for them, but these are people who haven't actually made that purchase. So the welcome series that you're going to create is going to go out to anybody who has yet to make a purchase. They're simply giving you their email address in exchange for, more information, maybe that discount, maybe to become part of that insiders club, but they actually haven't made a purchase yet. The other email that you're going to be sending is that first purchase email. So that's the email that you're going to be sending as soon as somebody actually makes a purchase. And the reason why this email is so important is because once somebody actually makes a purchase, if they then make a second purchase, I think that the stat there, it's anywhere between 70 and 90% that they'll make another purchase after that. So you've got them to make the first purchase. Make it really easy for them to make that second purchase, so that way it'll be even easier the next time they make that purchase. And you can do that by, it's a very similar email to the welcome series. Thank them for making that purchase. Make it super easy for them to make another purchase by, including some recommended products, maybe even a first purchase discount, because as soon as they get that first purchase and that second purchase, boom, they're going to be in that cycle. They're going to be happy with you. They found out about your returns policy. They know that if they have any issues with your products, they're easily going to be able to get that mitigated and that issue dealt with. So super easy to do, and just one of the really great aspects and the really great things that you can do with Mailchimp. So yeah, we've talked a lot about Mailchimp. We've talked a lot about some of those campaigns. I'll just do a quick rundown of those campaigns. We talked about the welcome, talked about the first purchase, abandoned carts. If you don't have an abandoned cart series set up, that's probably, you should do that right now. This is being recorded right now. You can come back to this afterwards. Maybe even just do it while I'm talking in the background. It's so easy to do. And the abandoned cart, there's so much money being left on the table through abandoned cart emails. Not abandoned cart emails, abandoned carts. Let's face it, people are shopping, people get busy. They check out your product, they like it, they click it, it's in the cart, then they get distracted. They check out another site, maybe they go on Facebook, maybe they go on Reddit, maybe they go cook some dinner for their kids. Who knows what these people are doing, but their item is still left in that cart. That's really great for you because you know that there's already interest there. As soon as you have that interest, you've created that awareness. Now you want to create that desire and you want to create that action so that they press that buy now button. That's where the abandoned cart email comes in. The item is sitting in their cart. You pick the trigger, whether that's 6 hours or 24 hours or 72 hours or all of the above, turn it into a whole series. And you send that email right away, that automation that says, hey, are you forgetting something? Or did you leave something in your cart? Or are you missing something? However you want to word it, you're then going to be sending that email automatically to them. They're going to open it. They're going to remember, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't make this purchase. I forgot how much I liked this product. Boom, you got that sale right there, all automatically, all done through automation. So something really great to do. That abandoned cart email is really great. One that not a lot of people have set up that's really important too is that idle customer or that win back email, where if a customer hasn't made a purchase from you in a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, however long, you send that little bit of a reminder like, hey, we miss you. Like, what's going on? Why haven't you been here in a while? Remind them of why they signed up for your emails in the first place. Maybe give them some sort of incentive to come back. Show them your new products. Give them some incentive. Excuse me, I'm just going to have a drink of water here. Oh, it's not actually water, but I don't know about product placement. We're not getting paid to advertise these beverages in these cans here. Although if you do want, we have plenty of wall space back here. So if you want your store to be seen by anybody who watches School of Commerce, feel free to shoot us a message and we can create some sponsorship on these walls here. Hey, it's not a bad idea. It just came to me. Either way, moving on. So we talked about automations. We talked about creating those audience segments, very, very important. You don't want to be sending out all the same emails to your customers because every customer is different. Some customers make more purchases, some customers spend more. You want to segment your customers differently. You can create these lists in Mailchimp. Very, very easy to do. When you are crafting these emails, Mailchimp makes it very easy for you to include product recommendations based off of actual data. So these are products that you are recommending to your customers, not the ones that you think that they would want to purchase, but products that they actually would want to purchase because the data is integrated directly from your Shopify store to Mailchimp. So it's bang on, and it's really, really great way for you to maybe make that extra sale. You can sell a complimentary product. It's essentially just cross-selling in an email. You know what I mean? Cross-selling is the idea of if a customer makes a purchase, you're going to sell them some sort of complementary product. So they purchase a shirt, you recommend a hat. They purchase a camera, you recommend some batteries. The list goes on of product recommendations. So consider the product recommendations a cross-sell. It's going to be a complementary product. It's going to complement some of the purchases that they've made in the past. And it's going to make them feel really good and really valued. If I got an email or put yourself in your customer's shoes, if you got an email from a brand that you really like and they're offering products that you actually would want to see, that's really great. It makes you think, wow, this brand really knows me, and also I'm really into that product, and it's just a really great way for you to potentially make that sale. The next thing that we talked about was advertising. Mailchimp makes it incredibly easy for you to run Facebook ads or Instagram ads. If you are new to advertisement or want a very simple ad to run, retargeting is an excellent way to do that. Retargeting is when a customer goes to your site, you simply send them an ad because you know that they've visited your site, rather than just sort of throwing the spaghetti on the wall to anybody. You actually have somebody who was once interested in your product, in your website, and now you're just going to send them a targeted offer. It's going to be either more information about your store, maybe it's going to be a little bit of an incentive for them to make that purchase, maybe it's going to be some product information, anything that just gives them more information and makes it easier and makes them more confident to make that purchase from you. So the last thing that we're going to be talking about today, as we are, we're reaching our time limit here, and I don't see any more questions. Let's take another look here. Nope, nothing there. Nope, nothing there. Okay, well, the last thing that we're going to be talking about, as I like to say, check the tape. It's one of the things where you do all these initiatives, you run these strategies, you use these tactics. Take a look at what happens. Take a look at the data. Check out your dashboards, check out to see what's going on there. It's going to give you a really good idea of how your emails are performing, how your audience segments are performing, and from there, you simply do what any good marketer would do. You do more of what's working and less of what's not working. There's no harm at trying something out, testing it out, seeing how it worked. If it didn't develop into something that you're going to continue to do, maybe you didn't get enough sales, maybe you didn't get enough traffic, maybe you didn't get enough opens, maybe you didn't get enough click-throughs, the list goes on. But this is just information and data that you now have that you can just become a better marketer, and you can market your store better, you can market your products better, and you can ultimately, send better emails. So make sure to check your dashboard and to take a look at the analytics. It's just one click away, and you can see everything that's been going on. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, understanding how many people are opening your emails and how many people are clicking your emails is a really good. It's a really good way for you to understand how your emails are performing. So you get a lot of good opens. You're getting a lot of good open rate. Your open rates are good. Maybe they're 24%, 50%, what have you, whatever you think is a good percentage of people opening your emails. If you have a high percent of an open rate, sorry, I had a little brain flub there, that means you probably have good subject lines. Subject lines are a really key factor in creating your emails, because you want people to want to click on that. Maybe it's provocative, or it's getting them to evoke some sort of emotion, some interest, some excitement, some curiosity. Any one of those things will allow you to get them to open that. So that's a little bit of a tip there. If you're not seeing the best open rates, maybe consider changing up your subject line. Most email platforms, including Mailchimp, allow for you to A/B test certain subject lines. So play around with it. If you have the opportunity to send 2 different subject lines, I would say go for it, because you're going to find out which one performs better. And then what you can even do is you can take that one that performs better, add another one, see which one's performing better. It's building and making your store better off of what is really working. That being said, you've got high open rates, people are opening your emails, but they're not clicking. What's up with that? They're opening your emails, but there's not a good click-through rate. Well, now you might want to think about maybe restructuring your email, maybe changing your imagery, maybe moving a banner or a big picture of your products to the top, maybe making the links, maybe turning those links into buttons, or changing the colors, or changing the copy there. If you're not getting good click-throughs, you got to find a way, and you got to jumble your email template up a little bit better, so that way maybe your customers are having a better understanding of what's going on. You're just presenting the information differently, and that way, hopefully that will allow you to get more click-throughs on your emails. So that being said, I've ticked off all the boxes on the lesson that I had planned today. I'll check the comments one more time to see if there are any more questions. I'm not seeing any more questions, so I guess that means I did a good job of explaining all there is to know about integrating Shopify with Mailchimp. Obviously, I'm just kidding. There's plenty of more information out there. If there's something that we didn't cover today, I don't know why I'm saying we, I'm just the only one here. If there's something I didn't cover today, definitely, please feel free to write your comment in the comment section. Ask a question. I will 100% get back to you as soon as I see it. And that brings us to the end of the lesson. So, you know what? This has been lesson 24. This is the last School of Commerce lesson of the year. We do 2 lessons a month, one every 2 weeks. 2018 is going to be off the chain. We have taken a look at the feedback. We've taken a look at the lessons that we've already run. It's one thing for me to say, make sure to check the tape. Make sure to take a look at how your emails are performing. That's exactly what we did with School of Commerce. We went through all the lessons. We found out what more value could we bring to these lessons. We said, what didn't we talk about? We said, what do people want to see? We have got an awesome lineup of School of Commerce lessons for you guys in 2018. So make sure to stay tuned for that. If you have any questions at all, we're going to be here. Feel free to reach out to us. Our support team is just an email away, support@boldcommerce.com. You can get at us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn. Even if you have a question or you just want to start a conversation, maybe you're new to Shopify and you just want some information, feel free to reach out. We're happy to help you with whatever it is you have, with whatever it is you need help with. Emails, social media, certain apps, even if you want suggestions, even if you want somebody to just take a look at your store and give you some ideas. That's what we're here for. So this has been Bold School of Commerce, lesson number 24, the last lesson of 2017. We talked all about how to integrate Shopify with Mailchimp. I hope you guys learned a lot. And we hopefully will get a chance to see you next time. And in the meantime, happy selling. Right on. Take care, you guys. We'll see you next time.